I want to be there when the people start to turn it around, when they triumph over poverty. I want to be there when the people win the battle against AIDS. I want to lend a hand. I want to be there for the alcoholic. I want to be there for the drug addict. I want to be there for the victims of violence and abuse. I want to lend a hand. Send me.
Titi tumamina, tumamina, titi tumamina. ANC, I'm ready to save. I'm ready to save. Titi tumamina. ANC, titi tumamina, tumamina, titi tumamina. ANC, I'm ready to save. I'm ready to save. To Mamina. ANC.
As we know, we just had national provincial elections, and we're setting up a new administration, which is the 6th administration in Gauteng province. The caucus of the ANC is important in a way that part of our work is to ensure that we translate the mandate that the people have given to us as public representatives of Gauteng into a government program. But here the context is that our work is to do oversight because government of Gauteng, led by the Premier, is going to ensure implementation. We have committees that are going to be taking care of the oversight work that we need to do. That is why the importance of this meeting for us to plan together as the deployees of the ANC within the province.
This Lekgotla came at the opportune time, considering that we just came from the national and provincial elections. It has given the 6th administration of this province an opportunity to look into what was previously done and how can we better provide the services to the people of Gauteng. And considering that the high rate of unemployment, the discontent within the various sectors of society with regards to the services that is provided by the government in the province, this Lekgotla came with a theme of action-driven, which will give the executive and the province an opportunity to look into itself, but in terms of how can we better accelerate the growth of the province economically in order to create the much needed jobs.
The importance of this meeting is that for every administration, when we start, we need to have such meeting so that we can be given a mandate, and it's gonna also assist other female comrades who have just came in, and also we're all new. Once the term is started, we're all new. So it's giving us a mandate to shape and give us what is the role we're gonna play as the Women's Caucus in this 6th administration.
The ANC Caucus in Gauteng takes this issue of youth unemployment incredibly seriously. For those who may not know, the caucus is also comprised of MECs and the Premier. So it's partly government, but it's also partly legislative and lawmaking that we're going to be looking at it. Now, what are we actually going to be doing for young people? There's a huge focus on youth entrepreneurship and SMMEs. Lots of young people have ideas, but number one, may not have the entrepreneurship skills to really develop those ideas, but also number two, don't have the support. And one of the big projects that's being led out of the Premier's office is Tsepo 1 Million. And we're hoping to not just advance this, but really propel it throughout the different departments to ensure that every young person in Gauteng has an opportunity to get a skill, to get an opportunity at an internship, and more than just a job, create jobs for others through those entrepreneurship projects.
The caucus is based on a theme. There's a theme we've adopted as caucus. It has 3 elements on it: action, discipline, political clarity. So I think that we are going to be driven by those themes throughout our work in the next coming 5 days. In other words, all the decisions that we need to take must be action orientated. We're not going to take rhetoric kind of decisions, no, but also discipline. We've started today. As you can see, we said anybody else who's not part of this meeting, who's supposed to be part of the meeting, must give us good reasons why they were not part of this meeting. But we're going to be discouraging people from absenting themselves, either in sessions like this or in the general work of the legislature. So discipline is going to be very much important. Even attending to legislative business in the legislature, the sittings that are going to be taking place there, we will exercise discipline, but also how we're posturing ourselves when we're doing community work. We must do that within the disciplinary code that we have as the legislature. Political clarity, we are a political body within government itself. So we are the ANC in government. So there's no need for us to have a problem about the party and the state, because that is well defined in terms of the structures of government. All that we need to do is to represent these things that the ANC want us to do within the body politic of the administration of government. So that requires us to focus on, amongst others, the current topical political issues that affect our country, be it how do we conceptualize the building of a developmental state, a state that is able to intervene and ensure that it addresses the plight of our communities down there. Those are some of the concepts or programs that we're going to be focusing on. But more importantly, we have a person who's going to be responsible for the political school. So there's a whole range of a curriculum that is going to be introducing our members. What we don't want is members who get in the legislature and they don't have political clarity on certain issues. The legislature is a terrain of a struggle on its own, so it requires that from ideological point of view, political point of view, our comrades are clear when they get in there and debate in that. So that we don't do debates for the sake of debates, but we do debates to enhance and implement policies of the organization that we will properly understand. Those are the issues that will help us going forward.
I've just been appointed or deployed as the head of political education and development of the ANC Caucus in Gauteng. It's actually an incredibly exciting role. One of the main things that we're going to really be doing is around developing young people, and not just young people, it's actually going to be across the board. We're going to be identifying various different hot topics. I think one of those might be rape culture, LGBTQIA+, as well as questions on land and climate change. What does that really mean for the work that we're going to do? And we're really going to be looking at surrounding the kind of policy that we want with the right political education, but also doing development at the same time. So you really have a strong ideological backbone to what we're going to be doing over the next 5 years. So that's really how I view this political education role.
So this gathering today has set a tone for us. In terms of public participation, the caucus is going to go to communities to try and sensitize the communities about the importance of taking part in their own government. It will be wrong for things about them without them. So now we've got a mandate based on the ANC Lekgotla. Then the caucus has tapped from the ANC Lekgotla resolutions to come up with a program that will be taken to communities by caucus members, so that we operate within the parameters of the agreed upon resolutions that we have agreed upon as a caucus.
It was important for this Lekgotla that we must be revived. You know, we must think of all things that this organization and the government needs us to do. and what is needed to be implemented. We must not take things for granted.
My highlights of the Lekgotla that's been taking place the past few days has actually been the Women's Caucus. For me, the organizing of women, putting forward a feminist agenda, and really understanding that central to policy making and to the work of government needs to be women. The fact of the matter is that the majority of the population is women, particularly young women. So this Women's Caucus has been particularly refreshing for me to be a part of.
As you've seen, we had presentation coming from different clusters, from social and the economic clusters. The reason of doing that is that we need to identify those key areas that the legislature must oversight in order to ensure implementation. Now, the legislature is not only asking questions, but it will also have outreach programs that enables us to interact with the communities in order to satisfy ourselves as to whether service delivery does indeed take place on the ground. But what we are also more happy about it is that we've introduced one new portfolio which is going to deal with issues of service delivery, looking at all departments within the province itself and made an assessment as to whether service delivery is taking place. You will notice that even the meeting today took a decision that monitoring and evaluation of our performance must happen as integral part of our committees.
The message to my fellow members is that I think our principal, our chief whip, has already outlined that this is going to be an active caucus. 2, we must be disciplined. So my message is that as the Women's Caucus, we must show the way. You know, mothers are the teachers, natural teachers at home. So everywhere where there's a mom or everywhere where there's a woman, you must know that there's going to be a way, even if how dark it is, even after a storm, but the woman is going to show the way. So that's my message, that we have to be that strong wing of this caucus to show the way and make sure that we build unity within the organization also.
My message to my fellow MPLs is for us to, every quarter, we've got various PCOs and we are deployed in various PCO. So each MPL is going to look at the document that we have designed and take something that must be taken to our communities. And we need to be accountable on quarterly basis at least to report back what have we done in terms of public participation and the oversight role of our executive. So our role is to ensure that executive is doing what we have agreed upon. If there is anything that we interact or we come across in terms of doing our political work, most of the time through the PCO, it will have to be brought to the attention of the entire so that we agree about. So no one should do anything outside what we have agreed upon. So we need to work as a collective so that we achieve good throughputs at the end of our term. So work with our communities. Thank you.
To my fellow MPLs is that there's no longer time to play. We must go out and make the public to understand that the government is in motion to deal with all those things that they raised during all the electionary work. We need to go back and do what is expected of us. We must come out of the offices and go down to the ground and do the honorable thing.
The message to my colleagues is that, as Amica Cabral stated, that we must tell no lies, claim no easy victories. People are not interested on our ideas and theories. All they want to see is action, and it is our hope that from this Lekgotla, all departments, in terms of their programs, will be action orientated. There will be no ideas, no theory, because that's not what the people wants. People want to see services, and services. People want to see the government creating jobs. People want to see the economy growing. Entrepreneurship needs to grow in the province. Small businesses needs to grow, but that can only happen if we move as a collective and be disciplined as members of this legislative authority of the province.
My message to fellow MPLs, I think it's the beginning of a long journey. I think it's going to take a lot out of us. But I do think that we're part of a very exciting administration. It's the first administration in which we're seeing so-called born-free young people like myself entering into public office. I think that does mean that the way we govern and the way we view things needs to change and needs to progress. But that for me is a good thing. It means we're going to evolve moving forward.